Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com, and we're talking about how to lie for self defense. And now we're going to get into the lying part. Okay, thing is, in most bad situations, some kind of situations, they're looking for information. So the more information you give them, the more likely they can put the hurt on you. We're talking about if it was in business, you give them information. Now they're going to get a different inspector out there. They're going to fine you. They're going to do whatever. So they're looking for information. So the idea is don't give them information. And now the other side of it is criminals. Now, even criminals, what they want you to do is do something that makes their work easier, victimizing you. They want to victimize you as easy as possible. They don't want it to be work. And this is why you have to say the stuff you say to make it turn into maybe this is something we don't want to get involved in. And now, if they're just going to pull out a weapon and try to criminalize you right then and there like that, that's a different thing. And that now you should be focused on tactics. In my mind, I'm always got tactics going all the time. So, in other words, if I'm being criminalized, a criminal is putting a weapon on me, then I got tactics that I'm working on already. So I don't have to think, oh shit, what do I do now? You know what I mean? I already know what I'm going to do. And why? Because I've done this stuff in the past. I say I've had riots, I've been in riots, I say in war, being attempted muggings, all kinds of stuff has happened to me. Robberies in running a business. You'd be surprised how many people think they're going to come in and take my money. Like I just work hard just to give them my money. You know what I mean? So tactics is something that's always on my mind. And so the tactical part, there's always a chance you're going to be hurt when you take a physical, what do you call it? When you get involved physically, when they're going to, you have to fight. There's always a chance you're going to be hurt. Now, this is one thing. Like I say, I teach self-defense, and one thing people don't understand when they first start, they think, well, it's just somebody wants your money, you give them the money. No, we don't. That's the last part we do, and the reason is, once you understand how to take care of gang activity or multiple threats and all this kind of stuff, a simple mugging is nothing because you already have the tactics for 6, 8, 10 threats, and now when there's one or two, well, that's a whole lot easier, and that's why I teach it like that, and so and like I say, I'm looking for a weapon. You pull a weapon on me, automatically my tactics are engaged, and I'm ready to do something. The idea is I'm trying not, don't pull out the weapons. We don't want to pull out the weapons. And it's the same thing when you dealing with corrupt police or corrupt military. They got the weapons. They got the people. It's tough. So there are tactical things you can do. In general, most people can't tactically handle something like that by yourself. And so that's where the lying comes in. And so, in other words, you have to talk about stuff that you are familiar with. Don't lead them to believe something that's not. Because they're asking questions, they're looking for information. And now you're going to give them, say the wrong thing, bammo, they're going to get you for something. And then once it starts, let me check your vehicle. Let me, just right on down the line. Once it starts, you got problems. So the idea is to lie before it turns into these serious type problems you're going to get yourself into. Now, in foreign countries, I tell people, well, I guess I tell people the same thing here in the United States. You don't get involved in the system. Okay, their system, they do it daily. They know what's going on. When you get involved in their system, they're going to eat you up. So you don't want to get involved. That's why you're lying. So you don't have to be involved in their system. And because once you get involved in their system, it gets really bad. I tell you, I can speak English, so it's easier for me to do it here. In foreign countries, I don't speak the language, so it's much harder to lie when you can't talk. But I say, so that's where I made videos on bribing for your life and this type of stuff. And this is why, because there's things you can do so you don't get involved in it. Because I say, now when the police stop you outside the United States, it's going to get worse. Get it taken care of right then and there on the street. And that's all the different tactics, whether it's bribing, whether it's fighting, whatever it is, you have to get it taken care of right there. If it goes on to the next step, now there's more police involved, or there's more military involved. And then once they take you away, now there's even more involved. And so it gets harder and harder to get out of these situations. So you've got to be able to have the tactics, and the best is in words. And in other words, a good lie, something that you can say with a straight face and be able to back it up. And this will kind of help you. What I try to do is, if I can talk, I say words that will put doubt in their minds. In other words, I haven't done nothing wrong. I never do anything wrong. So, it's not like I'm trying to lie out of doing something wrong. I haven't even done anything. I don't want to get into the system. So now what I got to do is get you to think he's not worth the trouble. Remember, they got the power. In their minds, they think they have the power. So, but if it's, and this is where a lot of people say, well, I know the governor, I know this. Okay, that's not really the way to do it. So, because now you're trying to show them you got the power. Now you're doing a power play. That can get you in trouble. You want to try to avoid the power play. What you do is you just say casual things, making them think, who is this guy? What's going on? Now, it's easier, and that's why I'm saying here in the United States. Now I'm here in the United States. I'm trying to move back. And so I'm going to be getting into situations that I haven't got into in probably 20 years, being here in the United States. In foreign countries, I'm an American. Already, they're thinking, why are you here? And do they want to go to the trouble of taking this American and locking him up or beating him up or killing him and stuff like this? Because, man, no telling what that's going to turn into. Providing you have the right words, you carry yourself properly. I can't really go into the details about what I do when I'm outside the country. But I've got ways to make people think, who is this guy? And maybe we better just leave him alone. And then that's how I avoid trouble. Here in the United States, it's not going to be that easy. And so, I'm getting ready to learn more experiences, and I have a better way of doing it. I'm still not sure if you're supposed to lie to the police. Now, remember, police can lie. That they've got the legal right to lie. We can't. I think. I don't know for sure. But so in other words, when they say, "Well, do you have any guns?" What are you supposed to say? Yes or no? You know what I mean? Just things like that, you know. And the good thing is we got constitutional rights. Now, you just don't say, well, I got constitutional rights, because now that's going to, you're showing them that you got more power than them, and now you got a power struggle you're going to have to deal with. So we're trying to avoid the power struggle. What you want to do is just put doubt in their minds, make them think you're not really worth the trouble. Why? Because their careers may be in jeopardy. That's what you want to be looking at here in the United States, is their career. You know, I mean, I want to be a police chief one of these days. I want to be an FBI agent. I want to be, you know, whatever. Yeah. And so what you got to do is by messing with you, is that going to put a spot on their record? You know, like for me, I don't have no record anyway. I mean, I don't do nothing wrong. Why would I have a record? You know, so, but for them, it's the career is what they're concerned about. So, but like I say, is it good for their career to bust out your windows and drag you out of your car? Is it good for their career? Or for you, it might be an exception. Maybe we'll save that tactic for somebody else. So that's what you got to do, is figure out how to put doubt in their minds. And so, like I say, I don't know. Am I going to tell them I got firearms? And I can't tell you what I'm going to do. I've got tactics I think I want to be doing, and it's going to be putting questions in their minds here in the United States. But same thing, I don't do anything wrong. And once you do something wrong, and now everything I'm talking about doesn't do any good anyway, because they're going to, you know, you're going to get in the system, they're going to get witnesses, they're going to do all this kind of stuff, so your lies aren't going to work. So it's different. And I say, when I shot the guy in Topeka, matter of fact, let's see, '07, and you know, same thing on that. It was just, you know, well, you know, they tried to give me a hard time on that, but I did everything right. You know, so, you know, it just things like that. You have to be, and that's the one good thing I like about the United States. It used to be. Now it's a little different. We got liberals. I notice nothing. Northerners look at things a little bit differently, and California folk look at things differently. But normally, and this is the way I live my life, is my spiritual beliefs. And I have a moral, not only moral right, but a moral obligation to take care of myself. And that's from any kind of a threat. So that's why you have to think about this before you start lying. You better really think hard, and you need to go by your experiences. And that's why I tell so many stories. I don't expect people to follow everything that I say, but I want them to think, because that thinking is the part that's going to keep you out of trouble. And so think before you lie, and when you do lie, you have to think about your lies when you're saying it. But these are all just things that it's really just common sense. But if you don't have the experience, then you're just going to just flat out lie, and that's what they're looking for. You know, when it comes to the authorities, they're looking for you to lie. So you got to be able to lie properly if you're going to get out of these kind of situations whatever kind of situation you're going to find yourself into. I'm thinking I'm going to be on the road, and I'll tell you, on the road is so dangerous when you're in Central America and Mexico and Asia. Because why? They got you on the road, you are screwed. And that's the same thing that's going to be happening here in the United States. So I've got to get everything all figured out how I'm going to do it. But I need more experience. This is what I'm fixing to do. Get my camper, get on the road, get gone, and we'll see what happens. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.